Bushido is the world's toughest form of hand-to-hand combat. It pulls in the world's biggest live audiences for any form of wrestling. Few bouts go the distance. This wrestling is for real. Competitors give and take ferocious blows to the head and body. It combines the best of judo and karate, sambo and kickboxing. Never before have fighters in these different disciplines challenged one another in the same ring. The UWFi, the sports governing body, has strict rules and regulations. You're allowed to use your forearm, but you must not use the point of your elbow. You can slap, but you cannot bite, scratch, or headbutt. Headbutting is illegal. When your opponent is on all fours, you cannot kick to the head. But as soon as one arm is up in defense, a kick to the head is allowed. When your opponent is on all fours, the rest of the body is a legitimate target. If a foul is committed, then points are deducted. 4 points are conceded when a suplex throw results in a referee's count. 3 points are lost for any knockdown, and 1 point is deducted for a suplex throw. Fighters can escape any submission hold by touching the rope, but they then concede a point. A submission at any time ends the fight. And the big night out in Shizuoka also features a top-class tag match. Andrew Fleming against Nakano, Confirming tonight's card, Nobuhiko Takada against Steve Cox. The tag match, Mark Fleming and Yoji Anjo against Tom Burton, Tatsuo Nakano. And the special kickboxing match between Makoto Ohei and Fernando Calleros. Fernando Calleros, only 20, a ferocious kicker with middle and high kicks, good hand speed from the American Kempo Karate Academy, a short career, but a very impressive record. Makoto started as a shootboxer in Japan, spent a year in Thailand to perfect his kickboxing, specializes in low kicks. He beat Pat Kane of the USA last time out. That was one of his 5 wins. And your commentators, Jeff Thompson and Ted Pelk.
Here we see Makoto Oe going against Fernando Calleros.
Oe finding out of the red corner, Calleros out of the blue corner. 5 3-minute rounds. Tell us about this Calleros.
Well, he's another member of the AKKA from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and he's one of their new up-and-coming prospects. And the trainers at the gym say that he's going to be a world champion soon.
Well, he'll have a good test tonight. Oe in his very distinctive light blue trunks with a gold trimming. Calleros in their navy trunks with a white stripe.
Always kind of pushing forward in this match. We usually don't see him push forward too much in the first round.
Almost nodded in appreciation for that first kick to the midsection.
Ooh, nice punch by Oe.
Yet again, the thing that always amazes me, you see explosive action like this in the first round fight, and the crowd are just so intense. The concentration by them is equal to the fighters, I think.
Oh, they don't want to miss that one shot.
Like that. On target, I don't think enough power to worry Oe.
Oe seems pretty confident in this fight. I've never seen him really push this hard in the first round, have you?
Well, I'd have to say, Calleros doesn't look too ready for this in my view, but we'll have to wait and see. Move from the crowd, but didn't trouble Oe at all.
Oe trying to throw his knees, but too close in a clinch right now. And Oe has totally taken control of the ring.
Yes, he's backing Calleros into all 4 corners. That's a very, well, it's a very distinctive psychological advantage to have in the early part of a fight.
And now what he has to do is continually circle Oe.
But Oe's such a class act. I mean, he doesn't give you a chance.
And that's actually going to tire Calleros out. Oe in his usual southpaw stance. Kick to the midsection. Calleros was a little bit slow in defending against that kick. He comes with a spinning back kick, but Oe with a knee to the head.
It'll be interesting to see how Calleros actually responds after taking one of Oe's left leg thunderbolts. He seems to be setting him up for one.
Yeah, he's measuring. The trouble is, if Fernando actually decides right now he's scared of that left low kick, so you see he's continually circling to the left so he can deflect some of the power. But if he keeps on doing it, Oe is just going to cut off the ring like he did just then with the right low kick. Because he can kick with his right leg just as well as his left.
Both players nod in respect as they go back to their respective corners. Oe building up a 1-point lead.
And, well, obviously, Oe is doing pretty well, as we've seen from that first round, and his opponent is gonna have to try something different this round.
See the action highlights from the first round here.
Managed to duck the left straight, but Oe got that middle kick in to the midsection. And we're getting ready for the next round. I think his Calleros' trainer is telling him he's going to have to get a little more aggressive.
Round 2.
So round 2 of 5. Oe taking into this round a 2-point lead.
But then again, this looks like a repeat of round 1. It seems like Oe is taking control of the ring once again. And it'll probably I have a feeling it's going to be like this for the rest of the fight.
Well, one never takes anything for granted in this type of fighting, but yeah, I think I'd have to go along with you there, Ted. Oe seems to be pressing forward.
And if that being the case, Calleros doesn't want to be a stationary target. He's going to have to continually circle Oe. I wonder if he has the stamina to do it.
He's certainly putting in a spirited attempt in that little flurry of combinations.
Calderos's kicks, high kicks and middle kicks, seem to be pretty powerful and have a lot of speed in the first round, but he still has it. He's not burned out. He still has a lot of stamina left, but it seems like his balance isn't too good.
Well, I was about to say, you commented on the quality of his kicks, but there's no pullback there at all. And if you've got no pullback, you've got no power and you've got no balance. And I think that could be a telling factor once Owe starts to press home an advantage.
We'll have to see. Owe isn't rushing as much as he was in round one. Now he's probably looking for the knees.
Referee Wada stepping in.
Calderos is known for his good punching ability, but he hasn't been able to exhibit it yet.
Both fighters still trying to find the right distance to get their own favorite techniques and combinations to get to work.
You can hear Owe's corner shouting left, left, and they're talking about his left kick, and that's what he's doing.
Well, that's, as I say, the trademark that's making him one of the best all-round kickboxers in the world, pound for pound, in my view.
Do you think Owe could have a hurt right leg? He's not throwing too many right low kicks, and it seems that he has ankle support on just the right leg.
Well, injuries exist, but when you're in there, they don't matter. You're not thinking about them. You tend to worry about them afterwards, or in between rounds.
Or possibly Owe could have a damaged left leg, but he's putting that bandage on the right leg, so so his opponent won't attack that left leg.
Well, soon find out. Calderos seeming to fare a little bit better in this round, but it's early days yet.
He looks a little intimidated by Owe at this point.
See, there we go. Kicks are just swinging wildly. Owe's finding the target. End of round two.
And here we go again. There's a 3-point gap now.
Owe leading 40 points to 37. Calderos looking a little wary as he walked back to his corner.
Well, he's going to have to do something. He can't just stay on defense. He's going to have to attack, and those kicks aren't very precision. They're not finding their mark.
As I say, no recoil, no speed, no power, and no balance.
And Owe looks pretty calm and confident at this time.
Referee Wada just taking the sweat off those ropes.
Second round.
And here we go into round three. Fernando's going to have to do something.
Scheduled for 5 rounds. Owe in the light blue trunks, Calderos in the dark blue trunks.
And the trouble is that Fernando is standing right now at perfect distance for to be susceptible to Owe's low kicks and middle kicks as well. I seriously doubt that Owe is going to go head hunting this early.
I think both fighters just trying to find the distance, but Calderos getting a pretty good kick in there, but not enough power or penetration.
Owe is defending against those high kicks very well, isn't he?
Well, there was a spinning back fist, which is good in the type of competition I may have fought in, but I don't think it'll have much effect on Owe.
Owe doesn't seem to be in trouble right now from that back fist.
No, that looked pretty.
Well, very rarely do you see a knockout from a back fist. At least I haven't seen too many.
Well, I've done a couple, and I got disqualified.
Well, that wouldn't be smart strategy then, would it?
Well, it would be in this. Ooh.
Ooh, nice right straight by Calderos, and you see Owe shaking his hand saying, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, Calderos put one square on the chin of Owe. And as you see, Owe responds. Going up a gear now.
If Calderos gets in too much trouble, he should run in and clinch, but very close. But he has to watch out for Owe's knees.
Just about to say. Crowd beginning to warm up as Owe begins to warm up.
And could it be that Calderos is getting a little bit tired or taking a little bit too much punishment at this point?
I think he's always had the arsenal. He's just decided when to open up.
Calderos is continually backing up, and all Owe is going to do is continually keep on following him with all these attacks, and it's not going to work.
Well,
beautiful knee to the midsection.
Puts him down for the count.
3, 4,
Every time he backs up, always just going to keep running after him. He can't keep running back.
Well, back on his feet.
And he can't get cornered either.
1 minute left in this third round.
But Oe better be careful not to get too overconfident and leave himself open.
Hidari, I hear from the corner. Left stance, left stance. Quite a bit of spirited encouragement coming from Oe's corner.
Yep. Well, he's pretty successful in what he's doing in the corner. Keeps on telling him to keep up. Spinning back kick. Hits the midsection, but always...
That'd be good for a point scoring in any other type of competition, semi-contact or point scoring, but not here.
He has to score some pain as well as points.
There you
He
go.
wants to win this match. And there it is.
End of round 3. Calero survives.
And he's going to have to do a lot more than just survive, because the points are down to 40 to 27. And he's going to have to dig down deep and pull out something very quickly in this next round if he expects to win.
I think he was just saying to his cornerman there, tired. But you see the action highlights here.
Here's that first right straight by Fernando, and that found its mark.
In contrast, Oe looking confident.
Here's that series of knees from Oe to the midsection.
Second round.
Oe, first man back up. Caleros taking that much needed rest. Seconds of slow getting the mats out, just wiping the sweat off in the other corner. Round 4.
Well, Caleros looked like he could use another minute to rest. He wasn't too anxious to getting up to this next round.
There was a low kick there from Oe to Caleros' midsection that caused a bit of pain there. Yeah, the side kick means it's defense. I think Oe will try to go and finish it in round 4.
Caleros is going to have to do something. He can't just sit there and deflect kicks and punches and just sit there and be on defense. He's going to have to do something now.
If you look at the two fighters, Oe's in far more superb condition. Look at the rippling muscles. Caleros just seems to be, you know, surviving now, and be interesting to see, as I've said. Left leg doing the work.
It's not only the punishment he's absorbing from Oe that's tiring him out, it's just his stamina has run out. And that's what'll happen if you just stay there on defense. Unless you're extremely good and you can defend all that, which I seriously doubt.
Yeah, that knee starting to go to work.
Ooh, nice high kick.
Oh, Caleros is right in step, found Oe's jaw, but didn't seem to affect him. Oe just carrying on.
I'm sure it's affecting him, but
he isn't showing it.
Oe's not ready to go down yet. He's going to have to do a lot more than that. Tried for that same high kick to the left side of Oe's head, but I don't think he's going to get that in too many times. Oe's not going to let it happen. Ooh, that was a beautiful kick. Did you see that?
Yeah, Caleros is saying, no way, he didn't hurt me.
He faked the low kick and went for the high kick.
Looks as though they were getting into some of the wrestling there.
And Caleros is hitting him with punches, but his punches have lost their zip.
Yeah, the endurance factor beginning to tell.
Caleros definitely slowing down. He's going to have to try to look for an opening for that lucky shot.
Last minute of round 4. Oe taking the upper hand here.
But Oe is not exactly rushing in right now for the kill either. He knows he has this fight won, and he's not going to take any chances of Caleros throwing some lucky shot and taking him out.
Good strategy by Oe, but he was still looking to show his all-important dominance in this division.
It actually looks that Oe might even be toying with Caleros at this point.
I mean, we're seeing spinning backhands there. That'd be great in my type of point competition, but does nothing in this type of very demanding contact type exchange that we're seeing here tonight.
Well, these are pretty much the Oriental, what people would call refer to as the Oriental kickboxing rules. It's very close to the Muay Thai style rules, and the only difference is basically you're not allowed to use your elbows.
Well, certainly for me, I mean, Britain's got some very good kickboxing talent. Be interesting to see how they square up against the Oes if they get the opportunity. But the end of round 4.
That would be really exciting if that would happen.
Oe leads 40 points to 25.
And I wonder what the trainer in Calleros' corner is telling him right now. They should be telling him that he's going to have to move in and do something.
Well, we see some of the highlights from the last round.
That was that high kick to Owe's head. I found its mark.
So the 5th and final round.
Second round.
And let's see if Owe is going to try to look to knock him out in this round.
Referee Wada just wiping away some of that sweat. The towel doesn't come into the ring, it goes out of the ring.
You hear the people in the crowd screaming KO, KO. They feel that it's time for Calleros to go, but
as I said, Owe's got a reputation he's going to want to maintain. Calleros is going to want to strictly stay in there. It's all that pride now.
Always throwing some devastating flurries of punches and kicks. And for the best part, they are finding their mark.
But Calleros is a gutsy fighter.
Well, he keeps going. And that's why they figure he's a new up-and-coming guy who's going to... Ooh, that was a nice spinning back kick.
Well, there you go, never take it all for granted.
Yeah, you better not get too cocky.
That kick actually found Owe's jaw. As you said, it was more placed than purposeful.
Yeah, he measured that punch, but... Actually, Owe looked like he might have been trying to go to knock Calleros out, but... Right now, he doesn't look like... I think that spinning back kick woke him up a little bit. He knows he's leading on points, and he doesn't look like he's going for the kill anymore.
Nah, he's got a big lead.
Ooh. That would have been something if it hit, huh?
Yeah, but... Thin air. Now he goes to work. Midsection of Calleros.
Calleros can't just sit there and try to defend against those knees. He gets another shot in.
Still spirited encouragement from the corner of Owe. I thought he'd be coming from Calleros' corner.
Calleros trying with that spinning back kick again, but he's very sloppy at this point. He's taken too much and he's very tired.
Yeah, tired. Fighter walks off as referee Wada separates them, pulls them back in.
And although always throwing those knees, he's not looking to knock him out.
1 minute left in the 5th and final round. The crowd hoping that Owe will be able to come up and find another gear and be able to finish off Calleros.
But at this point, I don't think Owe is trying to. He really doesn't look like he's going for the knockout anymore. And the Japanese crowd, unlike many crowds from other countries, they appreciate like a 5-round decision. They enjoy a scientific match. They don't want to just see knockouts all the time.
Now, I must admit, I'm impressed by the crowd's knowledge of the technique, which is quite unusual.
Like in the United States, if the fight goes the entire distance and then there's a split decision, people often don't like that.
Well, there's the left kick of Owe, still attempting punches, kicks, knee strikes, but there it is.
And like I said, Owe wasn't going for that knockout.
Well, we end at 5 rounds, pretty punishing kickboxing. Owe already taking his bow, not waiting for referee Wada. 40 points to 24.
There's not much to wait for. I think we know the outcome of this match.
As we see with some highlights of the last round, a very dominant force.
Your winner for tonight.
And on to the tag contest. Mark Fleming and Yoji Anjo against Tom Burton and Tatsuo Nakano.
日の第3試合ダブルバウト30分一本勝負を行います。青コーナー255パウンドトム・アートン215パウンド中野達
Tatsuo Nakano from Ibaraki. He's known as Elvis. He's a bit of a slow starter, but he absorbs punishment like a sponge. His partner, Tom Burton, a wild man, an exciting man, a very dangerous man.
青コーナールーテン道場255パウンドマーク・ヘミング220パウンド安城洋二
Yoji Anjo, a wrestling man, a kickboxer, a man with tremendous arm locks. He'll make a great partnership with Mark Fleming, a wrestler who specializes also in sambo and judo. They must be favorites.
Well, here we go. Mark Fleming and Tom Burton squaring off.
Interesting to see referee Wilder checking as to when these fighters go in behind their tights in the crowd. Posturing as the fighters posturing clear.
It looks like Anjo's enjoying himself, and Mark Fleming looks a little bit trying to do the intimidation game on Tom Burton, but
Forget that. Hey, you see two interesting periods there with Nakano almost nonchalant. Burton's ready, and you're holding back Fleming.
and the Americans trying to do the intimidation game. Trying to psych each other out, and well, here it goes.
They're coming out of the blocks. Fleming out of the red corner, Burton out of the blue corner.
So much for the psyching out game. Now they're really squaring off.
Tag team bout starting with 21 points. I don't think he'll go down to points, do you think, so Ted?
I can't see this going to point, especially looking at the fighters we have tonight. Mark Fleming taking Tom Burton down. They were trying some punches, but they had very little effect on each other. Both of these guys are basically wrestlers, and they should stick to what they're best at doing, which is wrestling.
So domestic battle here.
You can hear Anjo screaming, "Give him the knee."
Shoot sign, submission signal from referee Wada. But I don't think Fleming's having anything of it.
Heel hold by Tom Burton. I'm surprised Tom Burton made it back after fighting Gary Albright a little while ago.
I think that was a pretty much a discreet mugging that took place there within the ring.
Burns lost his grip on that ankle hold, though.
Fleming puts that instep squarely into Burton's ribcage.
That's not bothering Burton much.
He's got a lot of protection around there.
And here we have Tatsuo Nakano.
Nakano in the ring whilst Wada still tries to separate and let Burton out. Fleming in the black trunks, Nakano in his now distinctive black tights with lightning down the front.
Nakano trying to get a body scissor on Mark Fleming so he can set up for a face lock or sleeper hold. It's interesting, if I can remember, I think the last time Burton and Nakano were in the ring, weren't they fighting against each other?
That's correct.
Now they're a tag team tonight.
Yet again, another credit to these fighters. I mean, 1 minute they're a team, the next minute they're an individual. Shows good all-round mental strength.
Mark Fleming going for that cross knee lock, but he loses his grip on that. Nakano slips out of something that might have been dangerous.
Both fighters being very watchfully marshaled by referee Wada there. Looking to single a shoot sign as soon as he sees one of the fighters in some element of distress.
But like we've seen before, we know how quickly one of these submission holds can snap a joint. And that's why referee Wada has to be on top of this at all times.
Referee Wada stepping in. Fleming held onto the ropes. Nakano taking a little while to let go.
No points are lost as they naturally move into the ropes. You hear Anjo saying to Fleming, bring him over here, bring him over here.
Both fighters vying for leverage, and yes, we get a change. Andrew steps in. 1 point in it.
Low kicks. Ooh. Nakano gets knocked off balance, and
He ain't happy.
Anjo manages to pump a kick in. Nakano trying to take Anjo off his feet.
Yeah, he seems he might be able to do so. But Anjo's resilient, and Ricardo even more so resilient. Trying to throw, didn't get there.
Oh, sleeper hold.
Referee Wada making sure that the sleep isn't a permanent one. Anjo grimacing in pain there.
Anjo tried to roll out of that, but Nakano has a pretty good grip on that sleeper hold.
He goes to work again.
Nakano was defending against those knees pretty well.
Well, Anjo goes out of the ropes. Nakano posturing as he steps out, almost relaxed. Burton comes in. Burton in the blue singlet. Anjo in the distinctive zebra tights.
He's going for a Boston Crab. Yes, he is. But he's not going to be able to work off that position.
Are fighters allowed to use the ropes to gain extra leverage?
No, they aren't. And actually, Burton was touching the ropes and referee Wada broke it up.
Missed.
Desperately trying to go for that arm lock.
5 minutes into this tag team bout. Not too much in it at the moment.
The reason why they call that the V1 arm lock is because his elbow is shaped in V, while the person applying it looks like a 1. Shoulder lock by Anjo, and he makes Burton escape to the ropes, and we're down 20-20.
Just see there. It's a good thing that was close to the ropes there for Burton. But they've obviously tagged. Back to the action. Nakano taking on Fleming. Look at Nakano's face. Brilliant close-up shot there.
Yeah, he's in trouble. What Mark Fleming is trying to do is his STF.
Referee Wada looking for a shoot sign from Nakano. He's not getting it.
Working on the leg and trying to grab the face. He doesn't have the face lock yet, as Nakano's fighting it off.
Fleming trying to use that big frame to surge, ease his way over to those ropes.
Well, Fleming's trying to wrap his left hand around Nakano's face. He couldn't do it.
It shows my wrestling ability, because it was Nakano who was making for the ropes. He certainly looked at them.
It looks like Mark Fleming has an arm lock on him, but no, actually he's trying to wrap that arm around Nakano's face.
Seems in pain, Nakano.
Yeah, he is.
Fleming hasn't waited. Nakano's out the ring, and that could well upset. He goes into some of the spectators and crowd.
And that's why Mark Fleming is taking chances and with those kind of moves.
Open tag, Anjo Burton. Into the ring.
Shoulder lock by Burton, but Anjo quickly reverses it. But Burton has a pretty good arm lock, and Anjo's in potential danger, but no. Nice reversal by Anjo. Another reversal, shoulder lock. I think Anjo will be able to roll out of this one. Yeah, he is. Burton going for a straight armbar, and he makes Anjo escape to the ropes.
Yeah, Anjo's legs out of shot there, but as you can see, as the pressure was applied, those legs found their way to the rope.
And here we go, Anjo versus Nakano. I love to see this matchup.
Yeah,
Forearm kick.
both fighters going to it at the moment. That left leg working effectively for Anjo. Not giving as good as he's getting.
Takes him down. Knocks Nakano off balance. He actually scores a knockdown from it.
Showing us in the crowd. Yeah, he's out. Anjo sensing, that could go.
Trying to open Nakano up with those punches and kicks. Here it goes, a German suplex, a pretty bad one. He kind of fell sideways. If you notice that it wasn't straight backwards. He fell sideways on the neck. Let's take a look at that. Look, right here. Boom. Right on the shoulder almost.
Yeah, he made quickly to the corner. Oh, that's a good one.
That was nice. Burton turned around his full Nelson and took him down. Now Fleming trying to go for the chicken wing face lock.
This could be interesting.
Now he's wrapping the body systems around Burton to try to prevent him from going to the ropes, but they were a little bit too close, and Burton manages to get to the ropes.
Anjo Fleming leading by 18 points to 15. Burton tags to Nakano. Steps it straight away with a knee strike to Fleming's midsection.
Nakano was really anxious to get back in the ring, wasn't he?
Yep, eager beaver there.
Beautiful suplex right on the back of the neck. Now that's the way you do a real throw. Oh, beautiful high kick to the head.
Well, there you see it.
And Fleming is down.
Takes the count.
Is that it?
Clear on the count.
No, he's up.
Crowd counting.
And this is the beauty of the tag match. That would have been it.
First kick didn't seem to do damage, but the second one on his way down. Burton and Anjo
going for the double arm suplex. He has that reverse. No, he can't. But he picks him up and slams him down. Burton was trying to go for the double arm suplex, but he couldn't quite do it.
You can see that. Fleming holding his head.
Straight arm bar.
Anjo wasn't messing about there. But he still hurts.
Beautiful arm bar by Anjo. And that's how quick it is.
Fleming goes over to his tag partner there.
Anjo and Fleming, your winners.
Excellent. Very impressive here.
Beautiful reversal. You see how he moves into that. And he also had his body on top of Burton's body, so he had his knee on top of him so he can roll out.
So a pretty emphatic win by this pair. Anjo's arm held up high along with Fleming.
And that was really a quick win for them. He seemed like he could escape to the ropes, but that's it. Anjo knew that, and that's why he put his knee over him and prevented him from rolling out of that submission hold. That was beautiful the way he caught him.
We move to the top attraction, top of the bill tonight, Takada against Steve Cox. Steve Cox from the USA, 34 years old, he's well built, he's tall, but he's a novice. He's making his UWFi debut, and this is a test of character. Nobuhiko Takada, Japan's premier Bushido fighter. His accurate kicks soften up his opponents, then he wrestles them and he wins. There's just one blemish on his record. That was his defeat by big bad Gary Albright.
Takada in the red corner going up against Steve Cox in the blue corner.
Well, this Steve Cox certainly has a very distinctive singlet. This is his first bout in UWF. Is he in at the deep end with Takada?
Well, I haven't seen this guy fight before, so it's kind of hard to say, but he's a professional wrestler from the United States, but he does have an amateur background. He knows how to fight, and he says he's prepared for the kicks, which he's going to have to do, because if he's just a ground wrestler, as we've seen many of the wrestlers who fought Takada before, he's going to have a lot of trouble.
Well, to wait and see. Takada in the mauve trunks. As I said earlier, Steve Cox in a very distinctive white singlet with red stripe down the side. Individual bouts starting with 15 points, sliding scale down to 0.
Except you notice, even though Cox, being the amateur style wrestler, his stance isn't exactly perfectly wrestler stance. It looks like he's defending pretty well against the kicks so far, but
Well, because Takada has decided to unleash an arsenal and blow yet, the crowd seeming to enjoy the opening moments in this bout.
he's leaving his left leg open, and I think Takada sees it, but he's not throwing kicks.
As you say,
Takada hasn't thrown a single kick yet.
Takada and most of the fighters tending to show that they have abilities in all areas of fighting and not wanting to be seen to take advantage, seem to be superior. God, it's almost a deathly silence in these arenas sometimes.
Cox is trying to work his way over with that arm lock.
Well, they're close to the ropes. Shoot sign from referee Wada there.
So far, Cox has proven to be a pretty good ground wrestler, though. He's holding Takada down. He hasn't exactly found his opening. Even though he's a wrestler, I don't know how much, to what extent his knowledge is as far as submission wrestling.
Well, we'll soon find out.
Because, as we know, there's no pins in this style, and pinning him down for a second may mean something in amateur wrestling, but it doesn't mean anything in this ring. Actually, if he's just pinning him down and that's all he's doing, it'll give Takada a breather. Not that he needs it right now, because he hasn't broken a sweat yet, and as we've seen before in all of his fights, he has excellent stamina.
I was about to say, there were no breathers in this style of fighting.
And I'm sure Cox is aware of that. And he's going for a crosslock on Takada's arm, but you see how easily Takada rolled out of that.
Cox, to me, struggling to just, as you say, feel his way into this.
Yeah, he was going for a leg lock on Takada, but you see how easily he reversed that also with a face lock. Takada seems to be just waiting for his moment. He hasn't gotten really serious yet.
Steve Cox will be hoping that he doesn't get too serious.
Takada's just sitting, waiting to see what Steve Cox has. He's just sitting there and looking for an opening.
Referee Wada brings it back into the middle of the ring.
Takada doesn't waste any kind of energy. He waits for that. He patiently waits for that opening, and when he sees it, he takes it. But
well, Cox says his knee had readjusted.
yeah, but he's leaving that left leg open. It might be insulting to Takada's intelligence. Maybe just, in a little while he might throw a low kick and take him out if he leaves too much of an open target. But right now, Takada is continuing to engage with Cox in the wrestling, and he's, for the most part, he's doing actually a little better than Cox, wouldn't you say?
Oh yes, I mean, I don't think you can doubt Takada's wrestling ability and all-round fighting ability. But yet again, unknown fighters with unknown technique can also pose problems, and I think Takada's strategy here is just right.
Yeah, Takada isn't rushing into anything right now. He's just patiently waiting. But most of these submission exchanges, Takada's coming out on top, as we see Cox escape to the rope, and the first point is lost.
Well, we certainly learned some of the rules. As you see here in slow motion.
Cox looks a little intimidated right now. Takada very calm.
Yes, you can almost feel like almost the energy that these two fighters are radiating.
Ankle lock by Takada, and once again Cox is in trouble.
Yep. He knows his way to the ropes. And the crowd applauding that. Look at this.
Takada hasn't even broken a sweat yet.
Yes, you can see there, whereas Takada normally leading in with a couple of well-coordinated palm strikes, he's actually just engaging in a wrestling exchange for the moment.
And in the neck wrestling situation, Takada has the opportunity of throwing knees to the midsection and even to the head. But he's continuing with the wrestling.
For those viewers who just think this is a wrestling bout, at any given time, you can just explode into a free exchange of kicks, knee strikes, and palm strikes.
But like I said with Cox, he's trying to defend against the kick. He has a slightly different stance than a typical wrestler's stance, but he's still leaving his legs open. And it's, I don't know.
Well,
Did you hear the power of that one?
Yeah, the crowd woke up, and Steve Cox is woken up. It's always on the cards Takada was going to open up on him.
Looks like Takada wants to finish this off.
Moving in very quickly, yes.
Look how quickly it ends when Takada gets serious.
That was sheer relaxed, explosive power there.
Actually, Takada he could have beaten him in the first minute.
As you can see here, he was quite decisive when he made his move.
He was a little bit too patient. He could have ended it a little bit quicker.
Well, Steve Cox seems to have survived. His cornerman helping him.
That was a deadly arm crosslock. I wonder if his arm will be alright. He looks like he's in trouble right now.
Well, he's receiving attention. Here we see the winner, Takada, working his way back up to the top.
Yeah, I'm sure he's really anxious to become the main eventer again.
Coming up next week, the top of the bill is a tag match. East versus West, Japan against the USA.